So the question is, does a narcissist regret losing you? But for us to really have the answer, we need to understand, does a narcissist really regret? If they do, what is it they regret? Do they have the capacity to do so? What does it look like? Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, and today in this episode, we'll be talking about, do narcissists regret losing you? Before I begin, make sure that you subscribe to this channel because that really helps me to get in touch with a lot of people and this community grows. And make sure that you press that bell icon to get notified whenever I post a video here. If you are listening to this episode on a podcast channel, make sure to follow and like as well. A narcissist is a parasite. That is as simple as I can put it. They need to latch onto the others like a leech and suck the blood, take the fuel, take the supply to survive. Which means they are more dependent on us than we are on them. But they want to hide it. They want to hide their parasitic and predatory nature. They want to come across as strong, superior, better, bigger than everyone else. But deep down, you are dealing with very insecure, hollow, empty beings. And that is what their reality is. When it comes to having a regret, feeling bad about losing something, the form of the regret they feel is not exactly what you would call as a regret or how you feel a regret. For example, if you lose something, if you break up, if you lose a job or something, you may think, oh, I should have tried more, or I should have looked at this, I should have done this. That is what regret means to you. But a narcissist lives in a very tunneled vision, like experiences the world through a tunneled vision, where the objects and the people exist only if they have something to offer, if they are serving the false self of the narcissist in any way. Which means, if you were the primary supply of the narcissist, the first grade supply, if you were offering them the attention, the money, the sex, or anything that they needed from you, then you were the kind of the supply that they wanted to retain in their life. Not because they loved you, not because they cared for you, not because they wanted to save this relationship for the sake of saving it. They wanted to keep you there because they were getting benefited from you in different ways, in ways they were not getting from any other source of supply. So when it comes to regret, a narcissist does not experience regret the way you do. Regret for a narcissist means that I should have tried more to retain this person in my life, not because I love them, but because these are the benefits I have lost now. These are the things that I would have to look for in another person. That means more hard work, more manipulation, more love bombing, which they love, of course, but they still have to put in a lot of work to get the other person in line. Retaining is easier than finding a new person. So they regret having a servant in their life. They regret having a money dispensing machine. They regret having a maid. They regret having a person who would give them all the attention and love in the world. They regret having someone to cook for them. If I talk about my father, whenever there would be a discussion on divorce between my parents, he would often say, I wouldn't understand what he meant back then. He would often say that, okay, he would say to my mother that, okay, you go, but leave one of the children, me or my sister here, so that someone is there to cook. Someone is there to take care of things. And it sounded very selfish. And I was terrified by how someone can say this. But this is what the reality is. They need someone to serve them, regardless of who it is. This is the reason why they can replace you in a heartbeat, because they do not care for who the person is. There is no genuine care. What they care for is how they get what they want, which means they are pure self-centered. It's pure ego-centeredness. It is pure self-absorbedness. That is what it is. So to answer it in a couple of sentences, a narcissist does not feel the regret the way you feel it. They do regret, but this regret is not the genuine feeling of loss or remorse or guilt. It is just that, oh, I should have done this, or I should have said this to retain this form of supply in my life because I was getting these things from them. And that is what it is all about. They may, if you are someone who has recently left a narcissist, they may hoover you, which means try to get in touch with you and say things like, I regret, I have, God spoke to me last night and I had a breakthrough and I realized this, I recalled what you said that day and now I understand its meaning. All these crappy excuses telling you that they now are the changed person in just a night. It's all a lie. It's a fake fabricated story. It's a trap to make you feel sorry for them, to make you feel that there is some hope when there is no hope. So regret is alien to a narcissist because deep down a narcissist lacks the moral compass. Moral compass is something that we have as humans. It's like our conscientiousness that guides us in our life, that helps us to decide what is true and what is not, what is wrong and what is right, how we should treat people, and what are our limits and what are our boundaries, what we can do, what we should be afraid of. This capacity is missing in a narcissist. Even though there is some fear, of course, that is why they are so worried about maintaining their false image, but they do not care about what happens to you, which means there is no regret. There is no regret of losing a person because they never saw your true and authentic value. All they saw in you was the fuel, the supply that they extracted from you. I would really want to know what your experiences have been, what your narcissist said to you when they were expressing their regret, because this would really help other survivors to understand how these people create these false web of stories and how the survivors can save themselves. Just help expand the awareness by commenting below. With that, I would really see you and talk with you in the next episode. Till then, let the healing begin.